allow the two children to attend the budget every year.
It's okay. Off your mind. It's okay.
She
Off your mind.
like me.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, my ego don't come. Ingo torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego diary politico, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. This one not the off in mind, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. And in the touchlight every corner, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Nah. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. Still them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say my ego don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego diary politico, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. This one not they off in mind, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that my yegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say my yegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say my yegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh yo yo. My yegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make you shout, oh yo yo. My yegun don't come, oh. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun diary Nayibi number one. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun diary Nayibi number one. Mayegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú. Mayegun diary Nayibi number one. Lórí Facebook lórí YouTube. Mayegun diary Nayibi number one. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun diary Nayibi number one. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun diary Nayibi number one. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Mayegun máa wí. Mayegun diary Nayibi number one. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun diary Nayibi number one. Mayegun diary politico. Mayegun diary Nayibi number one. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun. Mayegun diary Nayibi number one. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Mayegun diary Nayibi number one. Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun diary Nayibi number one. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. adìyẹ. Máyégún máa wí. Adìyẹ sọ́ra jù. Máyégún ti dé. Bí pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o. Máyégún máa wí. Adìyẹ sọ́ra jù. Máyégún ti dé.
Gómìnà kówó jẹ Máyégún máa wí, àní ẹ ṣọ́ra kí Máyégún ti dé. Hello there. Good morning to you. Good afternoon to you. And good evening to you from wherever you are joining us. This is Máyégún Live. Thank you very much for joining me. So we have a backlog of loads of gists that we have missed on in the last 48 hours. So tonight we shall do this chap and make sure that all the backlog is cleared. So after reading the caption of this broadcast, kindly read the description of the broadcast. Like it, the broadcast. Share it. Invite your friends. Invite your not so friendly friends. Tell all of them that Máyégún is live. And tonight, we shall start from the tragedy that happened in Ibadan yesterday, an horrible event that saw to the death of 32 children and quite a number of others injured in a stampede that was caused by a poor crowd management, sort of a thing. So yesterday, the former wife or the former queen of the honey of Ife, Ogunwusi, named Naomi, I think she's called Naomi. She has a foundation that helps, the less privileged and the vulnerable people, the poor, to be precise. So she was a guest in partnership with Oriyomi Hamzat, the Agidigbo FM in Ibadan, where things got out of hand. Unfortunately, 32 kids died in that stampede. So that's what we're going to start from this evening, before going into a bit of the other tragedy that took place yesterday. Thiefnubu's budget of Shege Banza, Shege Banza, the one that those of you who are looking forward to 2025, that would have to actually live under the Thiefnubu's 2025 budget. I have something to probably just warn you of just before you get to that 2025. So the first tragedy was that of Thiefnubu. The second is that of the Ibadan. We are going to swap a place now, and we're going to go to Ibadan, how it all happened in Ibadan. Unfortunately, poverty has eaten people so much that if you intend to see how much people have become, or people have fallen into this Thiefnubu's induced poverty in Nigeria, although some people likely want to give the APC, Egbekebe, and the ruiners of Nigeria a little bit of a breather, but don't give them. The effects of Thiefnubu's economic policies, all of them can be felt on the streets of Nigeria, can be felt in every home in Nigeria, at least majority of the homes, right? So yesterday, they were called out. What was supposed to be a support program for the poor had a lot of people turned up. I'm talking about thousands of people that turned up with their children. You know, from what I gathered, this is not the first time that Naomi will be organizing this kind of support system, right, for people, the less privileged. But yesterday was like the most traumatic one, because it was like the biggest, where thousands of people turned up with their children. And the offer was to give some certain number of people 5,000 naira. 5,000 naira is like £2, okay? And in their effort to try to be the one to kind of win this 5,000 naira support, 32 children died. Oriyomi Hamzat, who is the owner of the Agidigbo FM, was said that he collapsed. I don't know why he collapsed, because it was not in the old melee, the old stampede, right? It wasn't one of those like a trampled upon, I would say. Not that, but I think they said it was the shock that got him. And then he collapsed, ended up in the hospital, which to me is pure theatric, as I can say. But again, it is Nigeria, okay? So Naomi and others are said to also been so traumatized. But let's go to how it all started and before things got out of hand. Let's start from that. Here, ladies and gentlemen, Ibadan.
Nílẹ̀ Ìbàdàn, èló ni wọ́n fi wọlé àwọn ọmọ tí ń bọ̀, èló ni kí wọ́n mú dání, èló ni wọ́n fi wọlé.
Lọ́fẹ̀ẹ́ ni o, lọ́fẹ̀ẹ́.
Ọ̀fẹ́?
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Ní kí gbogbo ọmọ mọ̀ bọ̀, 5,000.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, torí ó jẹ́ ohun tó wá sí mi lọ́kàn láti máa ṣe fún àwọn ọmọdé, especially àwọn ọmọ gan tó jẹ́ wípé lásìkò ọdún báyìí wọ́n lè má sí owó púpọ̀ lè má sí lọ́wọ́ òbí láti lè múnú wọn dùn. Ọmọdé dẹ̀ ṣe pàtàkì fún orílẹ̀-èdè torí gbogbo nǹkan téèyàn bá máa dà láti kékeré ni. Mo fẹ́ràn ọmọdé gan ni, mi ò wá nílé bí ọmọ 5,000. So nítorí náà gbogbo àwọn ọmọ tí mo bá ń tọ́jú làwọn ọmọ mi.
Wings Foundation.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, Wings Foundation, women in need of guidance and support. Àwọn obìnrin tí wọ́n nílò àtìlẹ́yìn àti ìrànlọ́wọ́. Tabadẹ̀ sọ nípa obìnrin tó nílò ìrànlọ́wọ́, kò sí bí ọmọ òṣèní síbẹ̀, kò sí bọ́rọ̀ ọmọ òṣèní jẹyọ. Ọmọ ló máa ń jẹ́ kí obìnrin kó làágùn jù.
Kí ló dé tẹ́ fi wá rò wípé ilẹ̀ Ìbàdàn 5,000 ṣé bẹ́ẹ̀ tí máa ń ṣe gbogbo ibi tí ẹ bá lọ náà nù 5,000.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, Ìbàdàn torí pé a mọ̀ pé Ìbàdàn jẹ́ ìlú ńlá ní gbogbo South West, Ìbàdàn láti jẹ́ ibi tó tóbi jù. So nítorí náà a túbọ̀ gbé sókè bọ̀. A ti máa ń ṣe náà bí 5,000, 4,000 la máa ń ṣe ní gbogbo ìlú tá ti ń lọ náà.
Aago mélòó ni kí àwọn ọmọ kí wọ́n ti máa dé ní àárọ̀ náà?
Aago 10 àárọ̀ la fi sí. Aago 10 àárọ̀ ni.
Aago 10 àárọ̀.
Aago 10 àárọ̀. So gbogbo àwọn tó bá.
Ẹ bá jókòó lé mọ́ fílù ẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ ayẹ náà. Bẹ́yà. Ẹlòmíì ni wọ́n ti ju ọmọ nu o. Ẹ máa ju ọmọ nu ní wọn. Máa tètè rìn yí o. Ẹlòmíì wúlẹ̀ kọ̀. Ẹ jẹ́ ká fi sílẹ̀ bàjẹ́. Ẹlòmíì kọ̀. Ẹlòmíì kọ̀. Ẹ lọ. Ẹlòmíì kọ̀.
So, a very good intention or gesture turned bloody. Number one, they announced this on a very popular platform as well as a radio platform. Oriyomi Hamzat's platform is very, 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 very popular in Ibadan. And Oriyomi Hamzat himself has been doing this kind of a support system for people. like through his own program. So coming on there to announce that they were going to help women with children. They were going to give them 5,000 naira each. So 5,000 women and children. That's a lot, right? But typically, it was just done in a Nigerian way, in a careless way. The effort to have what is called the crowd control, right, was not provided. And crowd control simply means that could you undo the number of people that will turn up? There's a chance that more than that 5,000 will turn up. And in the process, there will be stampede, there will be people like rushing, running, this and that, and with children in the mix. That in itself should have attracted the state government. Yes. Or in this instance, yeah, you can see maybe the local council. You will need permission to be able to gather more than 5,000 people in an enclosure, like, you know, in a place where it's not big enough to take all of these people in. So therefore, it's going to be the first come, first serve. Unfortunately, Nigeria is a place where, have you seen where they are, the type of crowd control they do in Nigeria in this kind of a situation? They will hire people, right, who are going to be holding belts, canes, you know, sticks, all kind of, you know, weapons. That's how they control crowd in Nigeria. Everybody move. Oh yeah, yeah, possibly move back. Move. Oh yeah, move back. That is the type of crowd control in Nigeria. I don't know what went wrong, other than the surge of that crowd got out of hand. Boom, stampede. And before you know it, they've already pressed 32 children to death right there on the spot. I don't want to show you the video of those children when their parents were carrying them dead, because that may be too much for you on this program, right? But the day after the stampede, or on the day of the stampede, that's when this picture was taken. This was yesterday. Oriyomi Hamzat, the host, was said to have collapsed. Then he's using oxygen to breathe, which is pretty much theatrical. There's nothing wrong with him. Yeah, he's shocked. Okay, fine, but not to the point of putting oxygen in his nose and pretending to kind of be like. So this is just for show. So himself, the Naomi herself, the two of them should be arrested, and they should be held responsible for the death of those children. Unfortunately, right now in Nigeria, they are kind of making it look like they used them, you know, superstitious place. They are believing that they used those children for rituals, and it was actually a good intention turned bad. Okay, in a country like this, they will tell you that you have to hire people that will control the crowd, and if anything goes wrong, you'll be held responsible. So in this case, the two of them should be arrested, and they should be held responsible for the death of those children. This morning, where people went back there to check on the scene, that scene, you saw a lot of crowd earlier, right? And you can see the children's their shoes and some of their personal belongings in the area. Something like this, it's also to remind all of us, even if people are denying it, even if they are using propaganda to try to want to cover, you can't cover the level of poverty in Nigeria. It is totally out of hand. In a situation like this, right, you would expect probably the lawyers, right, in Nigeria to put together a class action against the state government, the government of your states, for negligence, and at the same time, right, they should be held responsible as well for the death of those children, the family, or the families of those dead children should sue the state government. Unfortunately, Nigeria is a worse place to be. And if you happen to be one of the poor people in that place, you have no life. Your life means nothing to the ruiners of Nigeria. Nobody's going to take responsibility. And even the poor people themselves are already spreading superstitious nonsense everywhere, that they use them for ritual. They use this and that. It's all ritual. All this, your juju where they do. You use people's children and all of that. This is how they will target. And then the whole thing will just die is natural death when the religious people are going to come and preach to them and accepted this as the will of God. That's going to be the other stage to this. Nobody is going to be held responsible. Nobody is going to be punished for it. And those children that died, will of God, and who are alone, you know, that is them having their own fair share of, may Nigeria not happen to you, and it has happened to them. Poverty in Nigeria is underreported. People have fallen deeper and deeper into poverty than you can even imagine. It is not as if that the 5,000 naira they will give to them, for those who have the, I don't even know if they were able to even share the 5,000 naira anymore. The 5,000 naira cannot feed them or feed a family for a week. But then you have 32 children. And what about those ones that ended up in the hospitals? Do you think 5,000 naira will be enough to care for their medical bills? No. But Nigerians have fallen so deep into the economic poverty. But Tinubu and his gang, they were giving themselves pat on the back yesterday. They were singing, on your man debts they shall die, because Tinubu, in fact, Akwabiole even said that Tinubu has, turned Nigeria to small London. He has turned Abuja to small London, or to London. So when Tinubu walked into their chamber yesterday, reeling out, fake statistics, lying, and then, making himself feel so good. Enough that even when he had a gaffe, right, calling the 10th National Assembly, calling them the 11th, he quickly changed it to, well, maybe all of you are now re-elected, and they shared him on. Here is the gathering of those who killed those children yesterday.
Leaders and members of both chambers of the National Assembly, I report today that our economy is responding positively to stimulus. Our objective is to further stimulate the economy through implementation of targeted fiscal stimulus, packages through public expenditure, and specific non-inflationary spending. The reform we have instituted are beginning to yield results, no reversals. Nigerians will soon experience a better and more functional economy. Global economic growth for the outgoing year was in year 2024 was projected at 3.2% and against predictions of our countries. We have made significant progress. Our economy grew by 3.46%. Round it down, that is 3.5 of year 2024, up from 2.54% in the third quarter of year 2023. Our foreign reserves now stand at nearly $42 billion from negative inheritance. We are providing a robust buffer against external shocks. Our rising exports are reflected in our current trade surplus, which now stands at 5.8 trillion naira. National Bureau of Statistics confirms this. The clear result of gradual recovery, among others, reflected the resilience of our economy and the impact of deliberate policy choices we've made from the outset. For year 2024 budget performance, I'm happy to inform this August National Assembly that our administration attained remarkable milestone in implementing the 2024 budget. In 2024, we achieved 14.55 trillion naira in revenue, meeting 75% of our target as of the third quarter. 21.60 trillion naira in expenditure, representing 85% of our target, also in the third quarter. While challenges persist, we improved revenue collection and fulfilled key obligations. The transformational effect of this on our economy are gradually being felt. That drives me to the philosophy of the 2025 budget. The 2025 budget seeks to restore macroeconomic stability, enhance the business environment, foster inclusive growth, employment, and poverty reduction, promote equitable income distribution, and human capital development. This, our budget allocation reflects the administration strategy, the strategic priorities especially, and the implementation of the Renew Hope agenda and its developmental objectives. The 2025 budget overview. The numbers for our 2025 budget proposal tell a bold and exciting story of the direction we are taking to retool and revamp the socio-economic fabric of our society. In year 2025, we are targeting 34.8 trillion naira in revenue to fund the budget. Government expenditure in the same year is projected to be 47.90 million naira, including a trillion naira, including 15.81 trillion naira for debt servicing. I promise we have to bring this down. A total of 13.0 trillion naira or 3.89% of GDP, we make up the budget deficit. That is achievement. This is an ambitious but necessary budget to secure our future. The budget projects inflation will decline from the current rate of 34.6% to 15% next year, while the exchange rate will improve from approximately 1,700 naira per dollar to 1,500 naira, and a base crude oil production assumption of, say,
nuisance lele.
I want to try to explain some things to you, dear Templars, in this nonsense that that druggie just spewed as it was written for him. And I don't expect everyone to understand it. Of a few that will understand this, you are likely going to hear from me tonight a bit of warning ahead, so that if you have to start putting your acts together and get yourself ready for the storm that is about to hit Nigeria economically in 2025. It is not a prophecy, okay? You just have to take a look at the tidbits of the available information, and then from what is said as well, the hidden lies in what is said. Maybe I can help in making you understand this in a layman language, okay? Nigeria will face serious economic downturn. You see, whatever you have seen in 2024, 2025 will be like, 2024 will be like a child's play to what you are going to face in 2025. Because you cannot run a country on lies. You cannot run a country based on falsified data, statistics. It doesn't work that way. A quick reminder that in this 2024, this thiefnubu legitimate regime is operating four budgets, right? When it comes to budget disclosure and transparency, Tinubu and his gang, they are the worst thing to happen to you in that contraption. And there is no way out. Okay? To start with, Tinubu and his gang, right? In order to deceive you and deceive themselves, they told you that the original data, a manageable data, which is like at least close to something that you can actually say is real or was real, was the unemployment data in Nigeria. The data said at the time that more than 45% of Nigerians are unemployed, no job at all, while over 70% of Nigerians, right, were underemployed, which means they are those who have no permanent job or permanent source of income. They just do whatever they could to get by, okay? So which automatically could correlate with the over 70% poverty rate in Nigeria at the time. But when Tinubu and his gang came in, right, they removed the guy in charge of the NBS, the National Bureau of Statistics in Nigeria, under Tinubu, under Bukwari. They removed him and he appointed another person. And once this person came in, or came on board, the first thing he did was to announce that Nigeria has no unemployment problem at all. That in fact, Nigeria is having if the Nigeria have any problem at all, it's going to be the problem of overemployment. So from over 44% unemployed Nigerians, they cut it down and they announced that it's only 4.8% Nigerians that are unemployed. This was the beginning of all the fraudulent statistics they are using to make projection. Then, last year, while the 2023 budget was still active, you know, Bokuwari was the one who signed the 2023 budget before Tinubu came on board. Thiefnubu and his gang, they quickly put together what they called 2023 supplementary budget, making it 2 budgets. And that was like about 2.8 trillion naira budget, supplementary budget, combine that with 2023 budget. So by the end of 2023, he submitted 2024 budget, right? And that got passed. So by the end of 2023, his gang, they said the 2023 budget, 2023 supplementary budget, they should be given an extension until the end of 2024, end of this year. 2023 budget is still active up till now. 2023 supplementary budget active. 2024 budget active. Then they put together, in 2024, they put together again another supplementary budget of over 3 trillion naira. Now making it 4 budgets active in this year alone. And there is no single positive impact of that on Nigeria economy or the Nigerian people. Not a single one. Now they have put together 2025 budgets. Guess what? Just a day before Tinubu presented that yesterday, they made a move again to say, you see all those budgets from 2023, including this 2024. In fact, they actually said 2024 budgets in particular. They've given it a life extension to 2025 June. Usually, at the end of every budget year, all the ministries, departments, parastatals, all of them, they would have to return all the money that was given to them under the current budget. They have to submit everything back to the national purse, so that they can then, because they are the ones who will write the budget for another year. And the way they normally do in Nigeria, which is something we are still going to scrutinize on this platform very soon, they just copy and paste what they put in 2023 budget. You found it in 2024 budget. Have you forgotten? The same thing they budget for in 2023 is in 2024. In this 2025 budget is copy and paste as well. It's going to be there. Or the money they gave to them in 2023, 2024, they gave them extension to go and spend it in 2025. There's no scrutiny, there's no nothing. Also, in 2024 budget, they said their deficit was 9-point-something trillion, right? And that they added the projection of revenue projection of 18 trillion. That was what they said. Deficit of 9 trillion, which they said they were going to borrow. And the revenue of 18 trillion, which they expected to make from crude oil sale, as well as taxes. But from what he now presented, he's saying that, well, they are able to they generate 14 trillion. He didn't tell us how much they eventually borrowed in 2024, but I have an idea to tell you. The Central Bank of Nigeria alone printed, in this 2024, they printed over 18 trillion naira in the ways and means they gave to Tinubu. And when it comes to other external borrowing, Tinubu and his gang, on record, they have borrowed over $10 billion. If you convert that to Nigerian naira, that is more than 17 trillion naira as well. But they generated 14 trillion. Add all of that together, it is far, far more than the budget itself. And also, between last year and this year, they devalued Nigerian naira so that they can easily access all the loans they took. The condition of the loan is to devalue the naira. So in what he just read there, Tinubu is letting you know that that is not going to stop or change. He said their benchmark for the exchange rate is going to be 1,500 naira. And like it's like a round figure. He also said, from the current 1,700 naira. That's not the current exchange rate. The current exchange rate is over 1,700 naira. Right? So all these wrong statistics, all this wrong data that is now kind of making promise. I promise you. I promise you. You don't promise. You work with data that anybody can go and, you know what I mean? You can go and verify. You can go and cross-check. This is the data that you can say, okay, if it is like this, so what that simply means is that you can look forward to Nigerian naira crashing to over 2,000 naira to $1 in 2025. They have a secret expectation they are telling themselves, and that is, which is a lie as well. They are telling themselves that by the end of 2025, or before the middle of 2025, they were expecting the oil production to hit over 2 million barrels a day. They are saying to themselves right now, or lying to their people, that they are currently producing 1.8 million barrels of crude oil every day. But the OPEC data says otherwise. The verified data of how much crude oil Nigeria is producing as we speak is 1.3 million barrels a day. But they are telling themselves that it's 1.8. So by next year, it's going to be 2 million. And the devaluation of Nigerian naira makes the entire budget a joke as well. Because when you value their 2024 budget, let's start with 2023 budget. 2023 budget, which was 22 trillion or thereabouts, the value of that in dollars was like about 35 to 40 billion dollars to the exchange rate. Their 2024 budget, this year's budget, when they devalued the naira last year and then early this year as well. So that one was like 27. Yeah, that was about $22 billion. So you see that drop. Now, their 2020. Oh, hang on. I think from the beginning it was valued at around $30 billion. But by this time of 2024, the entire budget is worthless, probably like $22 billion. Now, their 2025 budget, 47.9 trillion, which is still probably going to be over 50 trillion by the time Akwabioli and gang finish, right? It's probably going to be over 50 billion. When you put that next to the exchange rate, it's somewhere around there, $27, $28 billion. And that is the man who wants to give you a $1 trillion economy. So when you begin to check all the data, when you begin to put all the data together, Baba, the mathematics is not mathematics anymore. So whatever he's saying to you, whatever he is reading, right? They are pure junk. And if you are a business owner in that contraption, I want to sympathize with you in advance. Okay? And as for the clowns, at a point in his presentation, he said this, and they clapped.
In fulfillment of one of my constitutional duties, and with unyielding commitment to rebuilding Nigeria towards ensuring that we remain steadfast on the journey to a prosperous future, I hereby present the 2025 budget to the joint section of the 11th National Assembly. 10th? I wrote 11. Which means you are all re-elected.
and the Ronukus, they have been celebrating that. Akonbi Omo Loko there is the man is a Mr. Strategies. Is a Mr. Sensible. See how he just played there. See how he just quickly he was able to think on his feet. He was No. Maybe that's your own kind of political strategy. That is not a coincidence. It is not. It is a subtle message for the rest of you to know that those who did that, and it worked. It worked with the people who are supposed to actually represent you. Probe this. You are all re-elected. That means you are all re-elected. And they will take that beyond just the gap that it was supposed to be. So them, if you are still in the PDP or you are still in Labour Party, you better go and join them if you want your name to be written, because there will be no real election. No, there will be none. Then afterward, he left for Lagos, where he was welcomed by Papa Ajasco and his crew like this. I mean, it was promised by the same guys that they were going to be in Lagos to come and see him. I mean, the speakers, congratulations, sir. We'll come and see you in Lagos. So very soon, you are going to be seeing videos, pictures of all these guys coming to Bodilon to come and see thiefnubu. And yeah, it is called state capture. There is nothing called checks and balances anymore. Well, probably there was never any anyway.
Congratulations, sir. And safe journey. We'll come and see you in Lagos, sir. Thank you.
It's all right. Lagos is free.
I mean, they are a bunch of ass lickers, rubber stamp, and they are not working for you. I hope you know that. But some will ask you and say, but what do you want them to do? They're supposed to actually like approve whatever it brings to them. Truth that. I mean, this is your Senate President, Takwabiole.
In a year. Notably, your infrastructural renaissance has paved the way for many roads, including the coastal road, the crucial arteries in Abuja, capital city. Imagine Abuja now, looking almost like London. And other parts of our country. In a year.
Abuja is looking like London. Where the weekend will just be like, yeah. Godless, Akmabi, well done. Thank you. We have turned Abuja to small London. Wow. Abuja people, you will not tell us. You're becoming London, right? Anyway, guess what? The rubber stamp National Assembly, between that yesterday and today, But the budget don't already pass the first and second reading. It's already passed first and second reading. 2025 budget. They have now referred it to the appropriation committee, the committee that is going to do the apakwen, the alapatas, who are going to bring out, who are going to begin to put, 1.5 billion naira to construct street lights in a street in Auchi by a polytechnic in Zamfara State Polytechnic, to construct or renovate Oba's Palace in Benin. You'd be like, why would Zamfara Polytechnic be renovating Oba's Palace? It's part of the 2025 budget. In 24 hours, they've done their first reading, second reading. Now it's going to be for the Alapa Queens.
Thank you. Distinguished colleagues, is it the view of the Senate that this bill be now read a second time? Those in support say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clerk of the Senate, you may proceed to read the bill for the second time.
Mr. President, distinguished senators, a bill for an act to authorize the issue from the Consolidated Revenue Fund of the Federation the total sum of 49,740,165,396 naira only, of which 4,361,358,925 naira only is for statutory transfers. 16,342,142,689,549 naira only before debt service. 14,123,544,196,406 naira only before recurrent non-debt expenditure, while the sum of 14,853,753,110,517 naira only is for contribution to the Development Fund for capital expenditure for the year ending on the 31st day of December 2025 and for related matters 2024. Second reading.
Distinguished colleagues, a bill for an act to authorize the issue from the Consolidated Revenue Fund of the Federation the total sum of 49,740,165,356 naira only, of which 4,358,925 naira only is for statutory transfers. 16,327,142,689,549 naira only is for debt service. The sum of 14 trillion 123 billion 544 million 196,406 naira only is for recurrent non-debt expenditure, while the sum of 14 trillion 853 billion 717 million 110,517 naira only is for contribution to Development Fund for capital expenditure for the year ending 31st day of December 2025 and for related matters 2024. Second reading taken. This bill is now referred to the Committee on Appropriation to report back to the Senate in 4 weeks.
Judicial. Oh boy. And you know something, right? In that same National Assembly, you actually have opposition parties. Yeah, there are opposition parties in that National Assembly. But they are in on it as well. The only time you will see them is when they want to make the gullible Nigerians, right, feel a little bit important, then you will see them on TV. They won't raise their hand in that place to actually confront the fraud because they are in on it. They are there to sing on your man debt, they shall buy as well. Shockingly, they are there. It's not just the APC, in that place. You know, they are there. And I think this guy actually touched that better. Joy Ope, Akpati, Rufai and the rest, they were having a chat around that in their studio earlier, especially the gaffe of thiefnubu, where he said that, okay, that means you are all elected or re-elected stuff, right? I'll show you.
You are all re-elected.
On your mandate, we shall stand. It was for me the round of applause when President Tinubu said that you are all re-elected. I mean, what were they trying to, are they excited or are they just trying to cover up the hole?
Well, humor is part of the tools of politicking. And I think that the president was being humorous there. Yes. He knows that these politicians, all of them, members of parliament, belong to different constituencies. And they will either win or lose in 2027, essentially on their own steam. He's not in a position to dictate whether they will come or not.
Yes.
And that was why they all laughed and all of that. Now, the people who sang on your mandate, we stand, it's commonsensical. Even the British Assembly, in the House of Commons, if your party is in the majority, they will hear you. They will even crowd out.
Do they play
they may not sing.
In the parliament.
But they can stand, they can clap, they can say here, here, and they will crowd out the opposition. The only thing in Nigeria is that I will not be surprised even if members of the opposition join in making that singing that
I saw them
national anthem. So that's the way politics goes in Nigeria.
Yes, absolutely.
But the main substance of the presentation yesterday, beyond the side humor and all of that, is the budget itself. It is the budget that we should all be concerned about. And some of those issues, we have raised them in our conversation with Tanimu Yakubu. You know, issues about are they going to fund the budget? You know, the distribution. Why is it that defense and security gets lion's share? Right. What is actually, you know, the projection for 2025? Why did they fail to meet the calendar? These are the more serious-minded issues. As for the humor, politicians they will laugh, but I think Nigerians need to take a look again at that budget before the National Assembly rubber stamps it. Because all that conviviality is an indication of, you know, the fact that they will rubber stamp it. Even Senator Akpabio is already praising the budget.
Yes, he's praising it, and he even praised Tinubu because I had a story of him saying
that not add any more money to that budget too. We are begging.
I was saying,
it's not that you go to National Assembly and they will pad it too.
I was talking about Akpabio. He said that, you know, the Tinubu administration is doing so well with his infrastructure, and that Abuja is now like London.
Your infrastructural renaissance has paved the way for many roads, including the coastal road, the crucial arteries in Abuja capital city. Imagine Abuja now, looking almost like London and other parts of our country.
It's not like London.
Well, first check that Senator Godswill Akpabio has been to London, and he knows London very well. Because many of our leaders, you know, they will come from their village. Yes. They will go to the National Assembly or they will go to Abuja, and they may not actually know this London. You can't go to Peckham and Camberwell, and you come and say, you know, the infrastructure in London is the same as in Nigeria. There's a difference, so that we are not in a position to know how well, you know, the senator knows London. For him to be able to say Abuja is better than London. I've been to London many times. I don't think we can compare Abuja to London.
Okay, that's a question for Senator, for the Senate President, Godswill Akpabio.
He says it's better. He says
it's looking like London.
Does it look like London?
It's looking like London.
Which part of London? You know, London has many parts.
There is no part of London that looks like that. Looks
okay, that's a question for the Senate President, Godswill.
Anyway, like I said earlier, the same gang who are supposed to be closing their 2024 budget and other budgets that are still active, 2023, and all the supplementary budget as well, accounting for them, the same rogues they've moved to extend the lifespan of the 2024 budget in this way. Let me show you.
Distinguished colleagues, the first order of the day is the second reading of a bill for an act to amend the 2024 Appropriation Act in order to extend the capital component of the act from 31st December 2024 to 30th June 2025, and for related matters 2024 SB 680. Mr. President, with your permission, I seek to present the lead debate on this bill for second reading. Mr. President and distinguished colleagues, permit me to lead the debate on this very important bill, which seeks to amend the 2024 Appropriation Act to extend the implementation year of the capital components of the Act from the 31st December 2024 to 30th June 2025. The bill was read for the first time today, being Wednesday, 18 December 2024. Your Excellency, Mr. President and distinguished colleagues, the need for this extension is to allow
The need for this extension is to allow full implementation of the budget, to allow ministries, departments, and agencies to utilize effectively a large proportion of funds released to them. However, significant amount of funds remain with the MDAs and will require a further extension to be fully and judiciously expended. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, given the critical importance of some key projects nearing completion, requesting for a further extension of the expiration clause is expedient to avoid compounding the problem of abandoned projects, given that some of the projects will not be provided for in the 2025 appropriation bill. This bill, Mr. President and distinguished colleague, therefore, provides for the extension of the capital component only of 2024 Appropriation Act from 31st December 2024 to 30th June 2024. I therefore urge our distinguished colleagues to give their full support to this bill to allow for full utilization of the capital releases in order to help reflate the economy, while I move that the bill be referred to the Committee of the Whole for clause-by-clause consideration. Mr. President, I so move.
Yes, Minority Leader.
Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, I support the motion ably moved by the Senate Leader. I say second.
Yes.
That's minority leader. That is the opposition leader in the House. Like I said, they are all together. You may see them on TV, right? Talking nonsense. Okay? So to pretend that they are opposition, but they are all together. So let me explain what they just did there. For those of us who have been like following their politics for a while, all right? These guys are criminals. And they are no longer hiding their criminality anymore. They are not, it's no longer a secret. They have gotten to a stage where they are now so bold. What you are witnessing is like robbery in the plain sight. It is no longer, skilled or shrewd in secrecy anymore. When you look at the padded budgets in Nigeria, the people that pad budgets are the National Assembly guys, senators, reps, and most of them are the leadership of the National Assembly, like that. So when you see some of the projects that they insert in the budget, some of them are hidden in different MDAs, like ministries, departments, and then agencies. So if the money is released late and they are not getting paid for those bogus projects, the best way is to extend the lifespan of the budget so that they can get their money from those MDAs. Because if they don't do that, they will lose out. All those projects, right? They would have to release them as they normally would do anyway. They have to release them in the next budget. And then they will be pressurizing the ministries, the agencies, departments, to pay them, pay us. Because they are the ones who are going to, they inserted those projects in there. The projects are not from the MDAs, it is their own projects. So if the financial year ends on the 31st of December, every penny in the MDA's account will be returned back to the national purse. That means they won't get paid. So the only way they will get paid, they will get the money taken, is to extend the lifespan of the budget. And they can continue mounting the pressure. So they can continue to follow the money. If the agencies or the ministry the money has been released, Then you have to pay the contractors who happen to be the lawmakers. We are the contractors. So you have to pay us. You can't lie now that there is no money. We just gave you an approval now that your budgets, you can still keep spending the money. Oh yeah, keep spending the money. Now give us our money. This is robbery in like a plain sight. Yeah? They are not ashamed of it anymore. I mean, well, they've never been ashamed of it, but they are not hiding it anymore. You understand what a state capture means, right? No, when you are witnessing it, right, in real life. Listen to the other guy.
And those in support that this bill be now read a second time say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clerk of the Senate.
Mr. President, distinguished senators, a bill for an act to amend the 2024 Appropriation Act in order to extend the implementation year from 31st December 2024 to 30th June 2025, and for related matters 2024, second reading.
Distinguished colleagues, a bill for an act to amend the 2024 Appropriation Act in order to extend the implementation year from ending 31st day of December 2024 to end 30th of June 2025, and for related matters 2024. Second reading taken. The bill is now referred to the Committee of the Whole for expeditious consideration. Leader of the Senate, you may wish to move a motion for us to refer to Committee of the Whole.
Mr. President.
That's it. And it was done within 15, 20 minutes, it's done. So trillions that is left in the hands of all this department and all of that can be shared accordingly. And they've got 6 months to do that. Nigeria. It's an unbelievable place, man. It's unbelievable. And then none of this actually will impact in the lives of other people. I say, none. Now talking about the people. Virtually impaired a woman, who we can say a blind woman, that went to the ATM somewhere in Anambra, right? Started having problems or trouble operating the cash machine, the ATM. And then a woman offered, I was supposed to actually put that up, give me a sec. A woman offered to help her. So let me help you, whatever it is that you're having problem with. And then this virtually impaired woman gave her a card, only for a card to be stolen by this woman. I'm going to put her on your screen. This, I'm going to, by this woman. And guess what she did? After taking the card, she absconded. And within hours, she emptied this blind woman's account of over 2 million naira. Take a look at the CCTV footage of how the whole event played out. Watch this.
30 seconds. Don't play video. See. That one don't swap. Hi. Yeah, woman, no, you don't move. That's okay. 30 seconds.
So she took the card and then she disappeared. And she was able to withdraw over 2 million. Like, she emptied the woman's account. Why would anybody do that? Like, humanity don't die finally in Nigeria. Eh? Like, yeah, people are going through a lot. Everybody is going through one thing or the other, right? But empathy is something that kind of shows that you are human, you know? Why would you do that to someone with disability in the pretense that you are helping them? And I hope they catch her so that I can come back here and say, well, she's been arrested. Her image is everywhere. And to those of you who might know, somehow, maybe you should provide the police with the right information on how to get her. That is so sad. People are living a sad life. And we probably are all going to be putting fingers at the criminal politicians and all that. They destroyed Nigeria. All these politicians have this and that. Meanwhile, majority of us are just waiting for our own opportunity. It is a dog-eat-dog out there, man, where people are holding other people's lives at, at any given opportunity. They will take it if it's going to make them probably better, right? And similarly, you have those who are parading themselves as a businessman. I'm a businessman, I'm a millionaire, I'm a multi-billionaire. But they are actual silent killers. So NAFDAC created this image or this virtual image of, consumables, right? No, I think we can call it beverages, drinks, alcohol drinks, juice, milk, and what have you, that were all fake or expired products that are being resold to people, have been sold to people. We have a lot of people in Nigeria today who are dealing with coronary problems, internal problems, where because of what we have consumed, we have this fake this and fake that. A lot of young people are dying, and they are like, these are supposed to be healthy people, and suddenly they just fall sick and they need a new kidney, they need a new heart, they need a new this and new that. And these are people who are like, they were healthy. But Nigeria is a place where the rot is so deep that something is just out there that is going to kill you. And some people are profiting from that, and they call it business. Take a look at this.
Yeah, we are at it here again. This is a different future from last year on. Here is a home of fake products. In this area now, they revalidate all kinds of minerals. Fanta, Coke, Amstel, Hollandia products, all their products, Lacasera. They revalidate, they do a revalidation here. This is where we are now.
I'm going to put it back on, sorry.
Yeah, we are at it here again. This is a different future from last year on. Here is a home of fake products. In this area now, they revalidate all kinds of minerals. Fanta, Coke, Amstel, Hollandia products, all their products, Lacasera. They revalidate, they do a revalidation here. This is where we are now. It's massive, very massive. Very massive. That was the table.
expire on the 20th. Shall I bring them on this month?
Bring them on. 20th is Friday.
20th.
Bring them out. Bring them out.
So that's like an outside.
Sorry for the, what do you call it, the audio. But I mean, people are making blood money. 15 shops had that clamp down on them. And that's just one market in eastern part of Nigeria. Who do you think are the consumers? Who do you think are buying those things and consuming them? If you are an Igbo man, an Igbo businessman, and you actually are willing to actually kill your own people that way, I mean, you deserve a death sentence, if in my own opinion. People who are selling fake products to people, they are silent killers. So what do you think you deserve? Death sentence. That's not business. It is not. And there are so many people who are already having this organ failure in Nigeria. Like every day you come on social media, you will see, where they are asking for donation for people to go and get, their liver, their kidney, this and that, replaced. And people are like, oh, more. And it's because of what you are consuming, expired products, fake drinks, and a place where people love to flex, flex with all these foreign brands of alcohol, especially all those who are drinking alcohols. Baba, you just have your money. Imagine like with your money, you are paying a premium price for substandard products, and you are consuming them. It's like buying poison and drinking poison. But it won't kill you right away. It will take time. And suddenly you just fall sick, and they check you and they say, well, your kidney is gone. No. Say, kidney gone, okay. Say, well, we need to go and do so, So when people who are dealing in that do not deserve anything other than death sentence. In my own opinion, I hope they eventually get them, and not just, it is Nigeria, they will kind of bribe their way out of it, and they will be back in business in no time. And as for their victims, that could be you, it could be me, it could be any member of our families and all of that, in a place where medical care or healthcare facilities are substandard as well. So how much is the life of an average Nigerian, for goodness sake? How much? It's almost worth next to nothing. It's a shame, it is. And then still stopping by in the eastern part of Nigeria. This, coming down from the east, okay, stopped by in Obiakpo. I know the Abuja people are currently battling with the weakest land grabbing, escapade. People are already resorting into self-help, hiring soldiers and beating up the weakest crew in Abuja, but that has not really deterred him. Some of his own subordinates in Rivers State, they are yet to possibly accept the fact that Wike is no longer in charge of Rivers State. So the people of Obiakpo came under the attack of the Wike's loyalists, who are trying to, remove people from their homes, evict people from their homes, their estate, because the land was supposed to belong to, or they have taken over the land, something like that. But then with the resistance of, now that he is no longer really in charge of River State, so to say, there are those who are willing and ready to actually resist him. As something like this happened just 2 days ago. Watch this.
Okay, my name is Udoka Eje, a member of Royal Estate. I happen to be the coordinator of Road 1, Royal Estate. Okay, in the past 3 years or so, we began to notice the presence of one Douglas Ibianyetiango, aka Don Waziro. Wizaro. He comes in as a Don and began to, forcefully take over people's lands and properties. He claimed that he owned a land mass that spans over an entire community, which would also include our entire estate. While we tried to resist him, he went to trump up charges of murder, terrorism, forcibly entry, assault, using that to arrest people and immediately sent to prison. So he originally we didn't know where his police formation came from. At some point we noticed a police formation or unit that was described as Dawn Police, the Dawn Police. When we tried to inquire, we found out that they were just a faceless formation who was being led by one then acting OC Legal of the state CID. His name is Sekbe. So when we got the IG notified, he instructed the then CP of River State, the Olatunde Disu, to investigate this murder. Sorry, this trumped up charges. And then the CP directed the state CID to investigate this. The DC state CID handed this case over to one CSP Ade. This CSP Ade did a thorough job. She concluded or investigated and found out that there was no such case of murder or attempted murder, and that the corpse he claimed was his own or was his boy's own was murdered or killed somewhere at Uniport, Choba. Where we stay is Sass Road. I don't know what linked Sass Road with Choba. That case was concluded. The then OC Lega was also petitioned by the estate of conniving with criminals. Then the CP got him investigated and found out that it wasn't just our case alone. This man was found to be criminally, this then acting OC Lega Sekbe was found to be criminally, and that was thrown away from River State Command. So we thought that all this had been solved. Only just last week, Thursday, this Sekbe led some police officers from where we do not know, came to our estate with a list of over 200 people to be arrested. For what petition or what charge we do not know. We did not know. He eventually arrested 2 widows. Immediately took them to one court, magistrate court 21. I don't know how they managed to arrange with the magistrates and remanded these people in prison. We have gone there. There is no charge against these women. A couple of people before this recent activity, we could count about 10 persons who have been sent to prison illegally through some arranged magistrates. Because eventually we got, even with the influence of the CJ, we got these people released eventually without any charge. We are calling on the Obiakpo Council chairman to intervene in this matter, saying that the rural estate is situated within the Obiakpo Council. We want him to intervene and say that this criminal act is nipped to the bud and stopped, so that the place can continue to develop. The Obiakpo Council will continue to generate revenue.
We got information, I think that was yesterday night when I got the call, and I decided to visit the site to see for myself. First, I want to say that as a local government, we will not allow such kind of acts within our territory. So, and I want to speak into action. So I want to also assure the residents who are living here that they should go home and sleep, and that the said man who called himself Don, or whatever he called himself, immediately after that, I was speaking into action on how to immediately get him arrested. And I want to say that the Nigerian police force should be blamed in what is happening in our state. They are aiding these people who are causing crisis, and people are clapping for the police force. They sit down, go to the police station, cook up a fake information, give to the police, will start arresting people, harassing people who have built us for over 10 years. And the question is, when they are building services, we have this said man. Well, yeah, where was it? So, as a local government council, we won't tolerate that within our vicinity. I've said it. I've also said that those who are doing real estate, before you bring in any machine in any part of the world, we must take approval from the council. So, this estate will stand. Those who are living here should remain here. No one man can come from anywhere to say here belongs to him. It's not possible. You can see massive building. I mean, people are living here. You can see that a lot of houses are here. So, someone cannot just come and claim that he owns this place. So, I want to appeal to them to sorry for the embarrassment, and henceforth it will happen again. So I also want to appeal to the Commissioner of Police and other sister security agencies to wake up in their duty, not to allow people to use them, in destroying people's property. You can't say this thing without the Nigerian police force. I must tell you that. What we'll do is we're going to write to the Commissioner of Police. We need to provide security for these people. I also use internal. I will also call my security. They immediately provide security, internal security for them from our council, to make sure that nobody enters here to do anything. Anybody who comes here will arrest a person, no matter who you are. I want to also call on the police, University Police Command. They should not be used by people who want to destroy our state. How can somebody just come begin to force people, arresting widows, charging them to court for without any offense? What is their offense? There's no offense. So I want to also call on those who are also trying to do what these people are doing. That don't be no longer safe for them. We won't tolerate that kind of act again. Right.
So that guy is called the Nemesis of Wimike. And he's also a future governor of Rivers State, because if, like say, you have to be thug and very, very rugged that way to have a chance or a shot at being governor of Rivers, okay? There's a part of this menace that I forgot earlier, talking about those who are selling fake expired drinks in Nigeria, including those ones being procured and then given to children, children's juice. So this horrible video, right? So those of you who have a set of, kind of like, is it breakfast or lunch pack for your children, or those of you who have children's juice at home, I implore you to kindly maybe try to check the content of what you are giving your children before you, dip that straw in the pack. I don't know how this one to check this and found this, and then she had to open it up and saw something I have never seen before.
Open Capri Sun, and it tasted funny. I just thought because I saw something on Instagram that looked exactly like that. I said, let me open it. See what we found inside Capri Sun. See what we found inside Capri Sun. I have no clue what this is. Look at how this has in. Imagine my children drinking this without opening it.
This is just the danger that I'm talking about. And there's something called the health and safety, the standard. I think they also have what is called the Standard Organization of Nigeria. I don't know if they are responsible for food and drinks as well, but I think NAFDAC is like, it's just like wherever you turn to, anything can just happen to you in that place, and innocently, right? You can consume what will end your life, including children's. Right. Let's talk about the use of police to pick on the people that offends you. We have been on the case of Afe Babanlaole, for example, kidnapping, using the police to kidnap Dele Farutimi. Before that, it was the news of Burna Boy, right, using the police to kidnap Speed Darlington, Akwi. And we all condemned it at the time, right? They said they had a meeting and it was agreed that Akwi should stop defaming Burna Boy. Unfortunately, Burna Boy using the police to kidnap Akwi was a complete Nigerian move, where the police in Nigeria is always ready to do the bidding of the people with money. And it doesn't matter if their action is illegal, it doesn't really matter. They will do your bidding if you have the money, if you can pay them. So Akwi was released, and the young man did not stop. He went on to release music in dissing Burna Boy. Then he left for the US. So he returned back to Nigeria 3 weeks ago, and upon returning to Nigeria, the police picked him up again. And this is a defamation case, right? That Burna Boy ordinarily should have just sued him, but he didn't, because he believes that Akwi has no real money he can collect. Rather, he will use the Nigerian way to punish him, which has now been repeated. You know that the police in Nigeria arrested, or should we say kidnapped him again 3 weeks ago. And they've locked him up since then, ensuring that he is going to be in their cell, in their detention, illegally until next year. Burna Boy is in Nigeria right now flexing. I've seen his video with people. He's a big guy. He's a multimillionaire. You know what I mean? So he can lock anybody up with the help of Nigerian police. So Akwi's lawyer shared details of what really happened when he returned back to Nigeria.
Update about Akwi now. Look at what the build-up of the case. You remember that Speed Darlington was earlier arrested. After he was arrested, I think he was in detention for 5 days. And after he was arrested, he was in detention for about 5 days, and we were able to secure him bail. And after he was secured bail, the DIG invited us to come back on a social date. So Akwi had to travel, go back to the US. Now look at before then. So before he was released, Burna Boy was invited. Burna Boy came with his team. I think Burna Boy came from US. Burna Boy came with his team, and we all had a roundtable meeting at the DIG's office, DIG FID. I think his name is Galadan Chief. So after the roundtable, Burna Boy with his lawyer and his team shared his own part of the story. Said, look. Speedy made some post about him and did not like it. This is it. And we were able to say, okay, maybe it's misrepresentation. And they had the roundtable, and we felt everything is fine. And everybody went his way. Speedy was allowed to go, and we went with Speedy. I think I was the one done bail. In fact, I was the one that brought a shorty, because they asked him that he must get a shorty before he could be granted bail. So we arranged for a shorty, and he was granted bail. So after then, we were asked to report back 5 days later, maybe the next week, and Speedy had to travel. Before then, when Speedy was released, one of the condition precedents, or one of the things that the DIG said or the police said, that look, we don't want. Burna Boy said, okay, he might not want to press charges or this or that or that. He just need apology and Speedy to stop making posts about him, that he has lost a lot of, that he has lost a lot of gig, or he has lost since they made that post, blah, blah, blah. And we say fine, we advise Speedy and stuff like that. Now, I'm not here to talk about the crux of the matter because already in court is for court to decide if this is what court lawyers say is sub judice. I am not here to discuss the crux of the matter if Akpe or Speed Darlington, what he said amount to defamation or defamed Burna Boy or stuff like that. What has been my grievances from day one, which I've held publicly so many times, is that defamation has been decriminalized in most of our jurisdiction. Defamation has been decriminalized. That means it's no longer in the realm of crime. And what the law says that if not a crime, if it is a civil action, police has no jurisdiction to entertain the matter. It means that once it is a civil action, you cannot use police to come and arrest someone. The same thing with tenancy agreement, tenancy and someone is owing you money. Once it is in the realm of civil disputes, police has no jurisdiction over it. So what we have been saying, I in particular, I would, is not those that have been following me is part of both my articles or things I've published on this matter is, if Burna Boy is claiming that Speedy defamed him per se or say something about him, you have a right to approach the court and institute an action in civil matter and say, look, tell the court that this, and seek for financial damages. But involving police is now more like a pound or more like playboys in the hands of money individual, that anybody, once you have the money to hire them, no matter what, you can just mobilize them and this thing. So that has been my grievances. Now look, that don't forget the fact that Speedy has been in detention now for the past 3 weeks. Now the question will always be, what have been the lawyer doing? Now the lawyer, the lawyer and my other colleagues, we have been, now from the moment he was rearrested, the point of the police is that they don't want to grant him bail on the ground that he jumped bail the first time and said, okay, when they asked him to report back. And I also made to understand that police also have some grievances, that he made some posts against them saying that they collected bribe, this and that. So most of all those grievances, and it's more like a lot of high individuals are interested in the matter, but that is not a ground for him to be detained for this long. He is not a criminal, he's not an armed robber. It's just a civil dispute that he made some posts about this, which a court can be said, okay, we have approached court. In fact, the matter has been filed to court, and they were only able to sign us a date claiming that there is no more free or empty schedule in the court. Now, the date they assigned to us for his arraignment was, I think, 15th of January next year. By the implication means that if for us to wait for court, for us to seek for court bail, we have to wait till 15th of January. That means he will be spending the Christmas and festive season there. Now, also note that the police also have the power to grant him administrative bail. The reason why they have not granted him administrative bail till now, for the past 3 weeks, is something none of us can explain. We've actually pushed all the buttons. We've actually in talks with the DIG, who is now more like the IPO of the case. We've actually in talk with everybody. We've actually filed for fundamental enforcement for him to be. We've actually filed all the processes that the lawyer could know how to file. We've actually made all the wide range of consultations. But I think the problem we are having now is, number one, is that, just like a post I made some time ago, that most of our court is choked now. I think the NJC, the Nigeria Judicial Commission, needs to create more judicial offices, appoint more judicial officers. It will interest you to know that if you want to do a matter now in Supreme Court, they will tell you that there is no longer free date. You have to take a date as from 2027. Just imagine someone is arrested and detained, so you have to wait till 2027. Mind you that just the same thing that we're having with Akpe. The only empty date or free schedule, the closest date that the prosecutors can get for his arraignment was as far as 15th of January. That means they intend to keep him. He was brought before court last week. That was last week, Thursday. We were all in court. Akpe was brought before court. We tried to see if the court will listen to us, or due to the fact that he has been in detention for a long time now. But the judge insisted, said, look, that we have to wait, that he will not attend to a matter that is not on the cost list. That despite the pleading, I think the prosecutor, who is also a senior advocate, this deputy commissioner of police, we all pleaded and said, look, my lord, this guy has been in detention now for the past 3 weeks. So is there anything we can do? The judge insisted that she cannot hear us since the matter is not on the cost list, that we have to wait till or come back to court on 15th of January, which is
no be Bonner Boy, the fight Akpio. It is Nigeria police. So all Bonner Boy needed to do is just to pay them. They will do all the job for him. Sounds similar? Yeah, that's exactly what they are also cooking for Delivery to me. Tomorrow morning, Delivery to me is expected to be brought before the magistrate court judge that reminded him 15 days ago, because they have the police is charging him for criminal defamation that is not even existing in the Ekiti state law. So you get, so this is Nigeria. This is Nigeria and its criminal justice system. And the moment you are trapped inside it, you go here when your fundamental human rights will be abused repeatedly. Speak all the grammar you can, put together all the lawyers you can. As long as the establishment is interested in punishing you, nothing else will matter. And that is Nigeria for you. That's Nigeria for you. In Delta states, where bright still bright is always, you be different. You can't differentiate between a police officer or a content creator, but somehow, right, is my favorite policeman, and it's also helping me to further show to the rest of the world the the Nigerian criminal justice system in that regard, as well is a line of questioning of supposed serious crimes is is so kind of pedestrian enough to show to you of other things that are pretty much like not in public in this way. So this story that Bright Duffy shared in this clip I'm about to show you is about a young man who is said to be an herbalist apprentice or a friend of an herbalist. And the herbalist told him that they were looking for a boy. If he could help them find a little boy, that he was going to just take something from the boy and will let the boy go, only for the herbalist to slaughter the young boy, drain his blood, killed him. Something went wrong that this criminal was caught, but not the herbalist, I think. Watch this.
The Bright, and this is Delta State Police Command. One thing that is common with all the parade we've been doing so far is that they are mostly males. Young guys, some of them that are supposed to be in school. What is wrong with our male children? I believe that we are giving too much focus on our female children, and we are allowing the male children to derail. We allow them to go astray. We just feel that they can take care of themselves. No, they cannot take care of themselves. We need to monitor what they are doing. We need to train them properly so that they will not grow to become a problem to us. Today we're having this young man. His name is Destiny. What happened? He works as an apprentice for a native doctor. The native doctor usually sends him to another native doctor colleague of his. That particular man now told him that he needed a young boy, that they want to take something from the boy's body. He now went to a shop where he usually buy things and lure an innocent 8-year-old boy and took him to that man. The man took that child to an uncompleted building, slit his throat, drained his blood, and take some of his body parts. Himself noticed that the boy is dead. He ran away. But somehow we were able to arrest him. We are going to listen to him and we are going to hear from him so that it will not look like Ibadan Funfair is just talking on his own. What is your name?
Destiny.
Your name is Destiny.
Yeah.
Okay, Destiny. The man, the way you say me, you bring that picky. What will be the man name?
Jonah.
Jonah, what thing they do?
Na native doctor.
Na native doctor.
Yeah.
Now you they work for Abi. Now the person you they work for him be Abi. How you tell no?
Na where for the land work now for no demand.
Where he for the land work or where he for the land work?
Where demand for the land work now for no because I dey go there.
Okay, you they go there.
Yes.
Okay, so what did the man tell you? The man say what did the man tell you when make you go carry that small boy?
He say make I find for a small boy.
He say make you find small boy for him. But you know answer what you want is the boy do.
No.
Okay, so the small boy you can't carry, so how you tell know the boy?
Their house dey for junction, so I dey pass there, dey buy something sometimes. That's why I tell know the boy.
Okay, so when you come see the boy, what do you tell the boy say you want use and do? Tell you the carry.
I tell him he come help me fetch firewood.
Okay, so how you take carry and go where the man dey?
Now the man come carry us for machine.
The man carry una for okay, now the man come carry una for machine.
Yes.
Come carry una go where?
Go one uncompleted building.
Okay, so from there wetin come happen?
He come say make I stand for where machine dey. So as I stand there and the boy come waka enter inside house. So as he and the boy waka for inside house, he get one man wey come out. I no want make the man see me. So now make me come waka comot. As I waka comot, I can't go walk. So later few minutes I can't come back for there. The man not there again. I already see say he don already kill the boy. So
how you take where you for cut the boy?
Like for inside a completed building.
Okay, but you don't know how you take kill the boy.
I don't know how to take kill the boy.
Okay, you said whether the man carry something like
Calm.
Bottle water container.
Bottle water. Yeah.
Okay, the time when they go, you carry aquafina bottle water. Yeah. So when you discover say don't kill the boy, what you can't do?
I can't run come out.
You can't run.
Yeah.
Okay, but later when you come back, come meet police.
Let me use my leg go meet police for Woyibu station. I reach the
for Woyibu station. Yeah. Okay, this thing will happen now. Which town it happen for Delta State?
No, Saturday.
Which town? Which town for Delta?
Aluye.
Aluye they under which local government?
Awaleru.
Ika South or Ika Northeast? You don't know your local government. You are from where?
I'm from Awaleru.
Owaleru, Abi Owoyibo.
Okowa State.
Okay, that should be Ika North. Ika Northeast. Yes, I think that is what they call it. Okay. So now that the child is dead, how old is the boy?
His parents said that the boy was 8 years.
So how do you feel now?
I feel so sad because
you get any person where you get younger one where they born follow you?
No, I'm the last born.
You be the last born.
Yeah.
If they had killed you the way they killed that boy, so if for day here, how are you feeling now?
I feel so sad.
Okay, how old are you?
I'm 20 years.
Okay, now we have a 20-year-old suspect. The other time I paraded a 21-year-old and a 20-year-old suspect who went and killed a woman in the farm. Now we have another 20-year-old suspect who connived with a native doctor, killed this little child, I believe for ritual purposes. The native doctor is currently at large and we are looking for what's the name of that native doctor?
Jonah.
Okay. So he's currently at large, but you and I know he cannot go out of the country. We will definitely get him. And when we get him, we also parade him. So that he will tell us what he has benefited in slaying the innocent lives of this boy, killing him for no just cause. Thank you.
No just cause. That's murder. Money ritual. You know, where young people are willing to participate in get rich quick sort of a scheme. It is everywhere, right? Anyway, let's leave that and take a bit of a detour. At this time around, right? Let's take it through to the northern part of Nigeria. A lot of you have not heard from a shitty man in a while, but yeah, he has been sent on an errand to Saudi Arabia. Yesterday, a report was released that in a year, 614,937 Nigerians were killed under Tinubu. 2.2 million Nigerians were abducted, kidnapped in 1 year. And Nigerians paid 2.23 trillion naira ransom to terrorists in the same 1 year. It's part of what I wanted to share with us last night before we had that interruption that, you know, was really horrible, right? How did the terrorists kill over 600,000 people in Nigeria in 1 year that we are not aware? I remember under Bukwari, we used to have the track record and all of that. How did they do this? How did the terrorists in Nigeria, kidnappers in Nigeria, manage to accumulate over 2.2 trillion naira ransom and even more? And we didn't know. Well, I did a bit of a follow-up program last night where I managed to kind of like, sort of guess or so of how that happened. Tinubu and his gang have done so well to suppress press freedom in Nigeria to the point that while the terrorists are having field days in Nigeria, controlling territories called the ungoverned areas in Nigeria, we're all busy with the economic downturn. As much of it is also affecting millions of people. But silently, there's been ongoing ethnic cleansing where people are being slaughtered, chased out of their, their homes, their villages, their communities. And these are being underreported. How they manage to do that in this last 1 year still sort of befuddles me. I won't lie to you. I still feel like, man, I am somebody who always pick things up, even when many people are not interested in them. But do you know what happened today? Yeah, the Document Stupid Service, DSS, they have picked the statistician general, statistician. God damn it, man. That's a lot of statistician of Nigeria was picked up by the DSS today for interrogation. While the NBS denied that they said their website got, they said their website got hacked, that they did not publish this intentionally. Now they are holding the supposed statistician general of Nigeria. They are holding him right now, probing that how did he arrive at all these figures? How did his office release this kind of data? The same way they cut down the supposed number of unemployed people in Nigeria from over 70% down to 4.8%. And they are giving themselves pat on the back that they have done so well. On Monday, which was about 4 days ago, the Boko Haram terrorists struck in Dawa, also, sorry, right? In Borno State, where the supposed government housing project was situated, and they had all the time in the world to kind of demolish all those buildings, like ongoing construction. And then another military base close to Cameroon, between Nigeria and Cameroonian border, there's a military base there for Nigeria. The same Boko Haram or ISWAP terrorists attempted to take over the base, but this time around they got repelled. I put together these two clips, okay, to explain to you the security situation in Borno State, the one they did on Monday and the one they did yesterday, just so we kind of tip into that. Watch this. And the shitty man is in Mecca. First, he was sent there. He said there is a Nigerian oil and gas service company. It's not Nigeria, so a Nigerian businessman, right? Opened a shop in Saudi Arabia selling gas, abitati oil. I don't even understand what that means anyway, but they sent shitty man there to go and help them cut the tape. So he left Nigeria with some other guys, including the governor of his state, Zulum, to go to Saudi Arabia. He's a useless guy. He's the same guy who said Pastor Ruga is better selling ice cream. I think he is better selling a sugar cane than to say he wants to be, well, he's the vice president right now. It's one of the things that they said that the thiefnubu's camp are doing is to get him replaced in 2027. That is not coming back with a thiefnubu. If thiefnubu is enough to put the stunt the second time on you. So shitty man is going to be replaced by someone else. However, until then, he is as useless as the doorbell. No, doorbell is not useless. It's just as dumb as a doorknob. No. Yeah, dumb as a doorknob. Anyway, it's useless. That's what I'm trying to kind of make you realize. Maybe it will be useful again if they will need to sprawl the terrorists, his own constituents, if they need to use them to push some level of fear in 2026, 2027. I'm not sure, but he's currently in Mecca. Guess what? They are praying for Nigeria. They are praying for Nigeria to be better. God damn it, man.
ولا ميتا إلا رحمته ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار وفي الجنة مع الأبرار يا عزيز يا غفار يا أكرم الأكرمين يا رب العالمين والحمد لله رب العالمين صلى الله وسلم على سيدنا محمد. يا سيد المرسلين وإمام المتقين ورسول رب العالمين الصلاة والسلام عليك وعلى آل بيتك الطيبين الطاهرين الصلاة والسلام عليك وعلى أزواجك الطاهرات أمهات المؤمنين الصلاة والسلام عليك وعلى أصحابك أجمعين الصلاة والسلام عليك وعلى سائر الأنبياء والمرسلين الصلاة والسلام عليك وعلى عباد الله الصالحين أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن سيدنا محمدا عبده ورسوله وأشهد أنك يا رسول الله قد بلغت الرسالة وأديت الأمانة ونصحت الأمة ودعوت إلى سبيل ربك بالحكمة والموعظة الحسنة وعبدت ربك حتى أتاك اليقين والحمد لله رب العالمين. السلام عليك سيدنا أبا بكر الصديق ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام عليك يا خليفة رسول الله. السلام عليك يا صاحب رسول الله. اللهم عزهم عنا وعن المسلمين خير الجزاء. السلام عليك يا سيدنا يا عمر الخطاب ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام عليك ثاني الخلفاء الراشدين. السلام عليك يا شهيد المحراب. اللهم اجزهم عنا وعن المسلمين خير الجزاء. ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Our foremost prayer is for peace to prevail in our land. May Allah grant our land peace and social harmony. May Allah grant our nation prosperity and tranquility. May Allah grant our leaders, from the president down to our local councillors, the wisdom of Solomon, the patience of Job, and the generosity of Muhammad Rasulullah. May Allah grant us the wisdom to rule our nation well, to govern our people well, and let there be peace and tranquility and prosperity in our nation. This is our prayer, and inshallah our prayer will be answered by Allah.
On Thursday, tomorrow on a Friday weekend, if it chop for you this weekend, drop code come here. If you don't say you chop for you this weekend, then drop 40 code come here. If you don't say you get the agility, drop carry code come here. If it chop for you this weekend, if one person don't go down this weekend if one person don't go down this weekend, you don't too much. Carry code come. Drop 40 call. On Thursday.
Nuisance Lele.
The situation where, blasphemous, because that's what I call them, blasphemers. They go in front of their Allah, or they go in front of the God, or this or that, the religious people, evil-minded people. They go in front of us and say they are praying for peace in Nigeria. They are praying for prosperity, tranquility. You don't pray for all those things. Your actions as people in government will determine if you are going to have peace, harmony, progress, tranquility, and whatever it is that you are praying for. You don't pray for those things because it's like mocking God. You are praying for them, but your actions or your inactions are doing otherwise. So you are mocking God. You are a blasphemer. You are thieves, criminals, looting, stealing, killing, and all that stuff, right? Then you are praying that say magician ni God ni. Is your God magician? God is not magician. So we could not drop that lamba for us anymore.
That Thursday, tomorrow na Friday weekend. If you chop for you this weekend, drop code come here. If you don't say you chop for you this weekend, then drop 40 code come here. If you don't say you get the agility, drop carry code come here. If you chop for you this weekend, if one person don't go down this weekend if one person don't go down this weekend, you don't too much. Carry code come. Drop 40 call. That Thursday.
Because that's so they have destroyed some of these young people in that contraption beyond anything. And indeed, it's unfortunate. They born you a drop code for that guy. Somebody will go down eventually. They will get to that stage, right? In Lagos, again, Tokumbo Wahab, that seems to be working at night now, was out yesterday, just last night. And this, then it was like going after loiters, going after people, wanderers. I don't know, they're just picking everybody on the streets. And I'm like, Mr. Wahab, I thought you were like Commissioner for Environment. Which one is this again that they're like picking people up like SARS and police? But I'll still share it in the mega city of Lagos last night.
Okay, move this back to my front now.
Fóònù mi ti tan rẹ̀ ẹ̀dì ọlọ́run.
everywhere is so dark, and once they grab you, just like waiting I do, follow us. You are selling on the road. I mean, I don't understand, but that happened. It happened. They are clearing the environment, I think. And guess what, right? When I was watching that video, I felt like there are some of them that will not be able to pay their bill. They will ask them to pay money to let them go. Okay? It is not really about clearing the streets of wanderers. Why should anybody even be arrested for wandering? I mean, I saw those ones with where you can call the mobile, what was that? Like mobile aboki selling all kinds of stuff, right? But there are others, they were not selling anything. They just grabbed them and put them in the truck. So if you are unable to pay the bribe, they will ask you, which some of them won't be able to. You know what's going to happen? They would have to go and dump them in prison. And there are others that will just be in that prison for years. Because nobody will even know where they are. Nobody will contact their family members. And they can be in that prison for 10, 15, 20 years. And once in years to come and you meet them and say, how did you get to the prison? I was arrested by Kai. What did you do? I was arrested for wandering. Then they took me to a mobile court. And the mobile court judge asked me to pay 50,000 naira bail. But because I couldn't pay the 50,000 naira, they moved all of us to Kirikiri. And I've been here for the past 7 years. 7 years. In Lagos State, you see a lot of people in jail. It's because they couldn't pay a fine. Some of them couldn't pay a fine of 5,000 naira. They've been in jail for 5 years, 10 years. You know? So if they are lucky, they will see those who usually visit prison evangelism, or those who are offering pro bono support for the people wrongly incarcerated. And when they tell their stories, you just be like, God damn it, man. That's how rotten the system is. There's a story of a young man that made it to the internet 2-3 days ago. It was like a viral story, right? The young man was arrested in 2010 or thereabouts, or 2009. Then he got sentenced to death by hanging for stealing fowl. So everybody who saw this story was like, how could a judge send somebody to jail for stealing fowl, stealing chicken, to go and die? Like, what the heck? In Osun State. So they decided to go and check if the story was true. And the story was true. He's been in jail for 14 years. Okay, he's lost his appeal. However, they actually accused him of stealing a fowl. Okay, but since then, in the last 48 hours, the people who are mostly APC, supporters, they have now twisted the story. They said, oh, he was an armed robber. But how could anybody go and to go and steal a fowl using gun, then gun? They say, well, it is their law. If you are caught, even if it is not the value of what you are stealing that will determine the length of your jail or determine the punishment. It is the act, go. So if you carry then gun to go and rob somebody of their Nokia phone, right? You are going to be charged for armed robbery, and armed robbery is a death sentence. I was reading all of that online. I was like, man, how could anybody carry gun to go and steal fowl? So they started kind of manipulating the story to make it look more or less like he committed a serious offense. In fact, they started kind of like linking the young man to other stories of armed robbery, like here you get, which are completely false. Anyway, it is Nigeria. Judges in that place can be very ridiculous. They are ridiculous. They are criminals too. So somebody will listen and just listen to a case and say, okay, you know what? I'm going to hang you for stealing a fowl. It is Nigeria. They are justifying it. Yes, they are. The young man has been in jail for 10 years. So now they are trying to see if they can commute his sentence and possibly give him a clemency. That is, pardon him. And others are saying, no, you cannot pardon him. You cannot pardon. Others are, it's been one of the top discussed conversation right now online. I sort of passed that because it is so ridiculous to start with. It is Nigeria. Okay? So it's a place where you can become the victim of the system in a way that the punishment for your crime can so much outweigh the crime itself. And the system will swallow you. It will. There's no record that the young man, according to the real story, it was not even like, he didn't even like steal any fowl. Steal any fowl. Didn't steal any chicken. The problem was that he was unable to bribe the prosecuting police officer. The real story, right? People went to go and, to rob people of their chicken, right? In Osun State. They were being chased. And as they were running away, and other people were running, when they saw police coming, like, the usual raiding. And the young man said, no, I can't run. I didn't do anything. Right? And the police arrested him. Just to show that they are working. They arrested him. They now said he should produce all of his members, the members who are like thieves, who are stealing people's chicken in Osun. And I was like, I'm one of them. I'm not part of them. That's why I didn't run, because I didn't do anything wrong. And because he won't be able to bribe them, they just took him to court to stand in for those who are like the real criminals, right? And that's how he ended up in jail. But right now, this hired their political cretins, options online, they are trying to actually really pin it on him. Then they judge the police that used him as a scapegoat with no evidence or no gun, no chicken, no nothing, right? So they were able to go through their judicial system in Osun State, and they convicted him to death. It is Nigeria. So when they say, may Nigeria not happen to you, say amen, because some of you are in the position of privilege that you can't imagine how some things actually happens in that place. You can't imagine it. Anyway, I think I have one or two more stuff to share with us. But the first one is, these women, like when they ask you that who voted for thiefnubu APC, some people will be like, me, I no vote for them. Me, I'm not one of them. But unfortunately, yeah, can you say the same of your mama or your papa? Like this one. Bọ́kọ́mí ṣe APC máa yá fún lọ́yàn mú. Bọ́kọ́mí ṣe APC o máa yá fún lọ́yàn mú o. Tó bá di lálẹ́ ayé wà fún. Tó bá di lálẹ́ ayé wà fún o. Bọ́kọ́mí ṣe APC máa yá fún lọ́yàn mú. Bọ́kọ́mí ṣe PDP ebi la ó fi pa. Women, they are the people that are mostly enabling all this madness, especially those ones in the rural communities. To them, loyalty to party, all it takes is just to give them the cup of rice, give them some money, and they will compose different songs for you. They don't get that. I mean, to them, they don't even understand what the economic policies of APC is. They don't know what is the economic policy of PDP. They don't care. Just promise that you give them money to do business, forgetting the fact that no amount of money that you give to them, right, to do any business will actually sustain them in a country or economy where inflation, hyperinflation, is eating so much deeper into their supposed businesses. Some of them have packed up their businesses. They do not have any business anymore. The only business they have is politics. So they are suffering. Their children are suffering. Oh my God. Promise them and give them some money. They will sing for you. Like, if my husband is APC member, I will give him breasts to suck. And at night, there's a chance for him. He can come in anytime. You know, that's my husband. But if my husband is doing PDP, I will starve him. I will starve him to death. That's the song. Bọ́kọ́mí ṣe APC máa yá fún lọ́yàn mú. Princess, tọ́kọ ẹ bá ṣe APC kó yá fún lọ́yàn mú. Tó bá tó di lálẹ́ o, ayé wà fún. They don't care. They don't have a clue. They have no clue. And there are many. Unfortunately, they are also in their millions. If you put them together, they are in their millions. They are the enablers of the rotten system. They are. So you can be reading all these economic indices. You can be reading all this story. Now you get your headache. When there is election, they are the foot soldiers. They are the enablers. They are your problems. Don't forget that. That is why it's more or less like you wish they can do brain tests for people before they do election, right? But they are allowed to put in an election now. And they never miss. Rain, sunshine, it doesn't really matter. They are always there to validate their riggings, to validate the robbery, to validate the charade. And the consequences of that, they are willing to endure it and the entire country. It's an unfortunate experience, mommy. You know? But it is what it is. Again, remember the last time we did a bit of an expose on the Nigeria and France putting together their forces, to help combat Boko Haram in northern Nigeria. Well, we found I don't know if this guy is French, but do you remember the video? Let me see if I can put it up. It's been a while. You remember that soldier that was speaking in Hausa, Abina, Fufude, telling us about the collaboration and the arrival of the French forces, or the French force in northern Nigeria after Tinubu denied, in fact, after the chief of defense staff denied the existence of the French soldiers in northern Nigeria, after the uproar of the northerner saying that Tinubu is planning to recolonize them by signing a deal with France. Remember that. I'm putting up the clip. I'll show you so that I can play you both now. Remember this.
Cigaba da taimaka mana wajen ciccire abinda masu fashe wannan suke wanda su yan boko suke sa mana hanya yana kashe mana jama'a da sauransu. Yan boko haram ba yan boko ba, yan boko haram. Ai amfanin abin shine zai taimaka mana inda suka sa su za mu je mai amfani da kayayyakin mu ciro. So abu ne mai muhimmanci su taimaka mana akan yakin nan da ake yanzu. Taimako daidai gwargwado zai yi.
You notice the guy behind him? Yeah, he finally spoke and told us why they are there in Nigeria.
Today is a really good example for us of being able to bring together two critical components to fight against the violent extremism here in the northeast of Nigeria. We've got the advanced technological equipment, which is absolutely necessary, but you can only use that when you've got some high quality soldiers that have got the real training to use that equipment. So it's been a real privilege for the UK to be based here and for the British Army to work with some really courageous, some really talented soldiers, both from Nigeria and from the MNJTF here from Cameroon, to give them the training and the experience so they can use the equipment that we're providing.
He's from the UK, you know. So we possibly are focusing on this France. There might be some other interest groups that have been allowed to be part and parcel of whatever is cooking in northern Nigeria. Trust me, it is not in your interest, not the interest of Nigeria, trust me. And they won't put their soldiers anywhere that is not about them and about their own country. So yeah, it's English. And there's no point in trying to say sounds like English. It's English. Pretty much this accent is enough to give that up. And congratulations to the Ekiti people, since their governor is said to have approved the minimum wage of 72,000 naira minimum wage, $42, right? Congratulations. So some of them had to go to their governor's office to thank him greatly. Watch this. One more time. You know, God bless you, Jerry. There's something about having foolish people in large numbers. You need to be very, very, very scared, and you know, you really, really need to be very, very scared of foolish people in large numbers. Because in a democracy, they can elect a president. And whether you are this Albert Einstein or you are Elon Musk, it doesn't matter your IQ capacity. Foolish people in large numbers can elect a president, and then they can elect criminals as well, or validate criminals. And then the criminals' decisions will now have to be obeyed by you. You will be controlled by them, because that is what they claim or call democracy in Africa to some extent, or even in that contraption Nigeria, right? Be very, very careful. As the quote said, be very careful of foolish people in large numbers. But I'm like, no, you need to be very scared of foolish people in large numbers. And in Nigeria, It can't be like sitting at the headquarters of them. Good luck to the rest of us, okay? And this is where I'm going to draw my curtain this evening. I am happy. See, when I missed out a night on Mayegun's Diary Political, I always have this backlog of what I want to share, right? And it's like 2 days in one. Okay, so I am done. I am done with that now. So we start afresh again tomorrow. While we look forward to any other abracadabra they are intending to pull tomorrow, when Deliverotimi is brought to their magistrate courts and the whole expose on the Nigeria and its criminal justice system continues tomorrow. It is a shame that the book that Deliverotimi wrote about the rot, the corruption in the Nigerian judiciary, is still very much exposing, and everything in the book is being validated, it's being confirmed by the same rotten judiciary to the letter. So tomorrow is another opportunity for them to prove us right again, or maybe they will correct themselves. And yeah, but tomorrow is another day. Okay. Thank you so much for your time, everyone. I appreciate the moment we have spent together this evening. Okay. Like I said, tomorrow is another day, and we'll see how that plays out, right? So like the broadcast, share it, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, so you won't miss anything, okay? And I shall see you tomorrow. Until then, stay safe and good night.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Mayegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Mayegun máa wí. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Mayegun Diary Political. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹ́gọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Ijó ìgbádìyẹ. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Kí gómìnà kówó jẹ. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Ọlọ́pàá ti ń darí bá. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. àní ẹ̀sùn ràgì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Máyégún ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràgì. Máyégún ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràgì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràgì. Máyégún ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràgì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o, Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀, Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkanṣá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o.
Máyégún ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràgì. Máyégún ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràgì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o, ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Máyégún ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràgì. Máyégún ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràgì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́hún ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. Lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. Bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. Èèpo ọ̀gọ̀lọ́mọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́, ó ti jọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ fòyà. Àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o, ó kó ẹni tó bá dán o àkàmù. Máyégún ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràgì. Máyégún ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràgì o. Ẹni bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràgì. Máyégún ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràgì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.